Good afternoon, everyone. Sharice Jervis Hill here from Events to Remember and PR to Remember. I am excited to have Karen Bigman here. Karen is the founder and president of Sweet Solutions by Karen. Hello, Karen. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Sharice.
Oh, thank you for being here with us for our little visual podcast. So, let's start our session, as I like to call these, with the little cheers. So
Cheers.
cheers to you. All right, let's get down to business. So Karen, tell me about your business, how you started. Um, I know that you had another company prior to this company. Your company is fairly new, but you're doing some great, incredible stuff. And I really want you to share some of the stuff that you're doing with our listeners. So passing it off to you, Karen.
Okay. So I started this company a little over a year and a half ago after closing another business, which I had for 5 years. My last business was a divorce coaching and consulting business. And it took me about 5 years to figure out that it wasn't working, and what was wrong was me. I wasn't really aligned with what I was doing. I had this wonderful business idea to help women who were struggling with divorce, but I had a really hard time making it work because it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't something that excited me to get up every morning and do when this was a really hard and challenging time for my clients. So I decided to sort of take some time to get clear and figure out what was it that I liked, what was it that I didn't like, and what I learned from my first experience as an entrepreneur. And what I learned was that I love the business of business. And so I had to really figure out, what does that mean? I'm coming from a completely different world. How do I turn this into a business? So my background from many years ago is in technology, and I really missed like working with the technology and the tinkering and all the technical piece. But I also have a strong sense of taking the messy things and problems and making sense of them and distilling them down into business ideas and products. So I put those two things together. And I reached out to some of my colleagues from my previous business who had successful businesses. And I did some work with them, whether it was finding them the right product for their business or literally doing an audit of their business to figure out what areas that they should be working on, areas that were going well. And then I started working with one client in particular for the first half of last year, really working as her online business manager, if you will. Implementing new products where they were necessary, finding the right people like virtual assistants and bookkeepers, managing events. So it was everything that had to do with the operations of the business. And since then, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I'm starting to take more of a focus on the actual operations and the systems of small business. But I'm much happier. This is much more aligned with who I am.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense when you really think about it, because I agree. I feel like to have a successful business, you really need that passion. Number one, I think that is really those days where you don't feel like getting up. The passion is what helps. And entrepreneurs are busy, and I think sometimes can be very scattered. And the fact that you really are helping them streamline and really get their operations in order, I think is definitely a win-win. I think it's a really smart business model. And the fact that, you've been down this road before with your other company and you really are kind of pulling the different pieces that work, I think it's really smart. So I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
So, in helping entrepreneurs really get their processes in order, what do you think kind of sets you apart from other businesses that kind of do some of the things that you offer, Karen?
So I think one of the things that really makes me unique is that I like to say I speak techie and I speak C-suite. So I really have a great understanding of how the two different pieces work together. I may not be able to code your website, but I can talk to your website designer, and I may not be able to manage the vision of your business, but or the higher level, but I can help you understand what this guy or gal over here is doing and make it all make sense together. And I think a lot of people kind of go one way or another, and I really feel like I straddle that capability.
That's great. I love it. So tell me now, your business is still fairly new, but you're doing some really great stuff. Like, what's new for you now that we're at the beginning of a new year? Tell me kind of what's new for you. What do you have happening, or some things that are coming up that we should look out for?
So the first thing that I find when I'm meeting overwhelmed business owners who are my target audience, particularly solopreneurs, is that they're really wearing many different hats, and they're all over the place and just following whatever shiny new object, whatever client, whatever new business they can. And the top thing that they really need to do is to start to get organized. So at the very end of last year, I became an Asana certified pro, which is a project management tool. And I'm taking a little bit of a twist more into helping with the productivity. And I have a couple of other certifications that I want to get done as well, so I can have a basket of tools for clients. Because I think, basically, if you can be productive and you can delegate, then you have a lot greater chance of success as a small business.
Yeah, that's great. And I love the fact that you're getting these certifications and these tools. That way you're able to put the operational pieces in order for your clients. So I think that is really smart. Um, so what advice would you give? I mean, you had your other business for, about 5 years or so. Now you have this new venture that is working out really well and you're seeing great results. What information, what recommendation, tell me like a tip or something that you would share with a new entrepreneur, someone who's just starting out or someone who is thinking about taking the entrepreneurial journey. Give me that one special tip.
I think there's a few. The one thing is that coming up with the idea is the easy part. Actually creating a business that is viable from it, as I learned in my last experience, is a whole other story. It's hard. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. And just because you think somebody needs something because you need it, doesn't mean there's a market for it. So, there's a lot of books about entrepreneurship, and there's one that talks about the minimum viable product, just putting a little bit out there and then trying to figure it out before you go wholeheartedly into it. And I do see a lot of business owners struggling. They've put the website out, they've developed the course, they've got it all ready to go, and then nobody's buying. So before you put the energy, before you put the money, before you put the blood, sweat, and tears, do it slowly and make sure that what you think the market wants, the market really wants.
I love that. It's kind of like do your market research for your business. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think that would be great too, a great tool for you to add to your toolbox since you're working with entrepreneurs, maybe even consulting with people that are considering starting businesses too, since you've been down that road and you created a successful business, but you knew it just wasn't kind of the right fit for you. So I see that as another option for your toolbox, Karen. Think about that.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll get a commission when I start getting those clients. That's a great idea.
So where can everyone find you? If we have entrepreneurs that are watching and they're like, I need Karen, I need some structure in my life. Like, tell us where can folks find you?
I do have a website. My business is it's Suite with like Office Suite, SUITE, Solutions with an S by Karen .com. I'm also pretty active on LinkedIn these days. I'm really growing my presence there. So you'll find
Yeah, you're doing great on LinkedIn. You really are.
Thank you. Like 4 or 5 days a week. And I encourage any business owner to really start to create a presence there, not just to lurk and but really to get involved, because it really has made a huge difference in my following and my community over the last just 2 months. So
yeah. All right. So we'll share your website for sure. Phone number, anything else you want to leave on here?
Sure. 646-612-7800.
Okay, awesome.
And
All
if
right.
you happen to be in the California area, I am about an hour and a half south of LA. I'd love to meet people in person again.
Oh my gosh, and look at that background that she has, making us all jealous. That's like an actual, that's not even the virtual, it is a virtual background, but it's from a photo, right? One of your beach photos.
Yes.
I'm so jealous, Karen. I have to come and see you.
Oh, I am so blessed to be living here. And anytime I have an extra guest room just for people like you to come and stay.
Awesome. All right. Well, Karen, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for sharing telling us about your business and sharing those tidbits for people that are considering starting a new business. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. And thanks for the great advice.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
All
thanks.
right.